Warning, this list is about to be extremely controversial. So, if you have strong feelings about any of the games on screen right now, might be time to click off. All right, everybody, here we are. I'm definitely using my time wisely here. This is Casey from Ghost Arcade. Anthony, who's usually here with me, is on vacation. He's enjoying himself in the land of the Nihon. In the meantime, you guys are stuck with me. And of course, it wouldn't be me, I wouldn't be Casey, if I didn't use this opportunity to talk about a stupid blue rat. Alright, so everybody, this is going to be a Sonic the Hedgehog video game tier list. I tried to find a list that had like as much of the games as possible. I think, without going excessive, without going to like different fan games or different like regional versions or stuff. Like there were some of these lists had like 100 games and it had like every mobile game and it had all this and all that. I found one that I think is the best list of actual released games as possible. I'm already seeing a few that I'm gonna have to throw in that are not played, but I have played the vast majority of all these. I am a huge Sonic fan. Favorite series, always has been. I've logged many hours into this dumb rodent, but I love him. Hope you guys are here to enjoy the show. Just know, like the intro said, these are my opinions. Don't take them too seriously. I probably will get heated about one or two of these games because of lost potential or something like that. Just have fun. And you know what? If you can watch this video all the way through, take the opportunity to drop your favorites in the comments. You know, you watch my videos. It's only fair that I see your opinions too. And let me know what similarities we have. Let me know how you differ. But let me tell you right now, I know a few already that are gonna get me into a little bit of hot water. But here we are. We're doing it. Rules of this tier list is only one game is going into S tier. Only one game. Fans of Ghost Arcade might already know what that game is, but I might surprise you. Let me just say, the favorite game doesn't always get into the S tier. All right. Without further ado, because I know this is about to be a long video looking at all these games we have, let's start. I did not choose this. I didn't choose this order. I don't know what order they decided on, because it's definitely not chronological. It's definitely not alphabetical. I think they just ordered it by every game that has Sonic in it. So hopefully they don't run out of those. I actually already see technically. Well, okay, never mind. I'll get to it. Well, no, I'm already on it. These two technically don't have Sonic. Well, okay, Knuckles Chaotix has Sonic in the credits, if I remember correctly. He comes in flying on Tails' plane, and then Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I think the developers did come out and say that you play from the perspective of Sonic, but you definitely never see him and he never talks or anything. Anyway, though, guys, starting off this list. All right, we're looking at Sonic Unleashed. All right. So, Sonic Unleashed, it's funny that that's the one we start off on, because that's one of the only games that we actually played on Ghost Arcade. So, Sonic Unleashed. At first, I did not really care for it. I was born 95, right? So, Sonic 1 on the Genesis was my very first video game of all time. I grew up with the 3 Genesis games we had. And to me, that free flow, that finding the best path is Sonic gameplay, right? That's it to me. The boost mechanic is a great idea for super quick gameplay, but in my personal opinion, it felt to me like going to the boost era, going into this Hedgehog engine. I think I lost a little bit of what I personally liked about Sonic, and that's fine, because this was. But all in all, after I was able to get through that and I finally beat the game, it was a very good game at the Dame Stem stages. Unfortunately, there's a whole other half to this game, and I can't even say half. The werehog stages take up more than half of this game easy, in my opinion. So the way I'm doing this, right? C is average. C is like is average, which is fine. Average is good, right? Average is had a good time playing it, but you know, not that great. I'm dropping it to C. To me, it without the werehog stages, which a lot of people do like, and I get that. I'm with it. A lot of people do actually have come back to say they like the werehog. Not for me. I was not having it. Didn't feel it. If it wasn't for the werehog, I would say B, but unfortunately the werehog's most of the game. It's got to go down to C. But, you know, for the praises, you know, the daytime stages are great. The music in Unleashed is phenomenal. I think the graphics look great, and especially if you guys play the PC port that just came out, or the recompile, man, it is gorgeous. That's how the developers, I'm sure, meant for the game to look. Anyway, here we are. C, I'm good with it. All right. I want everyone to know, too, that even though Anthony's not here, I'm fully speaking for him. All of his opinions on this list are all my opinions are his. We share opinions. If you hate me after this, you hate him too. You hate him too. All right. Anyway, moving on. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, or otherwise known as Dr. Robotnik's Puyo Puyo. It's Puyo Puyo. That's all it is. It's got silly little characters. It's got Dr. Robotnik from the Sat AM style. It's Julian Robotnik. Yes, he was named Julian in that show, or in that whole canonicity, including the Archie comics. So, it's Puyo Puyo. Less than that. It's Puyo Puyo. I'm not a big Puyo Puyo fan. Cool. All right. Knuckles is Chaotix. It is pronounced Knuckles is Chaotix. If you guys watch Jay's videos or Jay's reviews, I think he mentions that because there's an apostrophe after the S. So, yeah, it's Knuckles is Chaotix. 32X. Okay. This one had a really weird mechanic. It had this ring mechanic. Honestly, I didn't beat this game, but I played it enough to not put it in not played. Kind of poopy. Kind of poopy garbage. I was not into it. I will say I did like the Metal Sonic design at the end as a boss. I thought he looked really cool, but what I felt of it just felt awful. It did have Mighty the Armadillo back from Sega Sonic, Sega Sonic Bros. What the heck? The Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. I couldn't remember the damn name. They had him back from that. That was cool. I guess fuck Ray. But it's a less than average for me. Especially because you need a fucking 32X to play it. Who has one of those shits laying around? All right, getting into a good one. Sonic Advance. So, Game Boy Advance. This was like one of the first like Nintendo games for Sonic, right? But I believe at this point in time, I want to say, I don't remember the exact timeline. I want to say that Adventure 2 came out on GameCube first before this game. Can't remember. But either way, this was like my first memory of playing a brand new Sonic game on a Nintendo console after Sega went down. And man, they did a lot of good things to it. You had multiple playable characters. The levels were fine. It was a quick game. The bosses were inoffensive, mostly easy. Man, really, really average game. Really average. Just like, got a good foot in there. Like I said, average is good. Average is good. The B is like slightly above average. If we're talking A is high above average, these are average. They're great. They're great at being average. All right. Now we got a little poopy one coming up. We got a little poopy one. Sonic and the Secret Rings. All right. The story behind this, the development of this game blows. Because honestly, this could have been a fine game, and so could have another game. But, well, another game was in development, which, if you guys don't know, Sonic 06 was in development at this point. And then, I guess, Sega or maybe Nintendo, I can't remember who, I don't remember the whole story, one of them was like, hey, what if we had a game on the Wii? And Sega was like, well, we got Sonic 06. It's got a lot of graphics. And it won't probably work on the Wii. And then someone was like, well, we should put a Sonic game on the Wii. So they split up the team. They split up Sonic team. One half to work on Secret Rings, one half to work on Sonic 06. Their most ambitious title as of that point. And because of that, both of them sucked, realistically, unfortunately. Secret Rings, I like a lot of the things that go into everything around the game. I love the design of like the levels. I think it looks gorgeous for the Wii, which was a 480p console or something like that. I think some of the music's decent. Like the ending theme, I think is fun. Everything around gameplay fucking blows. Unfortunately, motion controls is the beginning of what really sucks about that game, but it goes even further than that. Like it's just the platforming itself sucks. The bosses suck. The last boss was garbage. Could not have it. Darkspine Sonic looks cool. All the things that have going for it didn't earn it the D. Sorry, you get the F. You in the F. Sorry, Secret Rings. Stay out of here. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. This is another game that got super fucking shafted by Sega team, okay? And by Nintendo, realistically, because this was a game that Big Red Button was creating. Oh, man, if I go into these backstories for every single one of these games, I'm going to be here all day. I'm going to try to hurry this up. Basically, this had such ambition behind it. It was made by ex-Naughty Dog members, the people who made like Crash and Jack, two of the best series of all time. And if you guys please take the time to look up the development of this game and like how many cool things could have been in this game and how hard they were working on this game, and like then they get shafted by tight deadline, they get shafted by like after all this work went into this, Sega or Nintendo, they were like, by the way, this is going on the Wii U, a less powerful console. It sucked. So they had it was made on CryEngine, or a version of CryEngine, I want to say. It was made on an engine, I can't remember off the top of my head exactly which one, but it was made off an engine that didn't run on the Wii U, right? So they actually had to bring in like developers of the engine itself, and Nintendo developers. They had to bring these guys in to help make the game freaking run. It went from being 4-player co-op to only 2-player co-op. It went from like great graphics to, man, it might run on a PS2. This game got shafted. Unfortunately, we can't give a pass just because it got shafted. I'm giving it the F. I will say this. I actually enjoyed this game better than Secret Rings. When I played this game, I skipped it when it first came out. When I played it personally, it was years and years later. And recently, actually, just a year ago, I want to say, finally bought it on Wii U just because I was like, you know what? I'm on a mission to play every officially released Sonic game. Let me see what it was all about. Maybe it's because I prepared myself for the worst game in the world, but I was able to get through it fine. It was still not great. It was still boring for the most part, but it wasn't like the worst abomination I've ever seen. It ran okay. Stutters here and there, sure. It didn't look the best. The jokes sucked. They didn't nail down the characterization at this point, with maybe save one or two good Knuckles and Sonic interactions. And it had okay boss battles that were serviceable. Maybe not Shadow and Metal Sonic, who were just thrust into the game last second for no reason. But either way, I found it not as awful as everyone in the world says, but still an F. All right, moving on to Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. So Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric comes out, and then Shattered Crystal comes out right after that. Freaking almost in tandem. 3DS game. It's pretty atrocious. I actually think it's worse than Sonic Boom on Wii U. Man, it's like a Metroidvania kind of light, I guess. I don't even know if that's the case, because it's level based. It's just you're in a 2D level where you're exploring the level, and it sucks. You're changing characters all the time. You're solving what I can't even describe as puzzles. Like, it's it felt like a more boring waste of time to me than Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. At least Rise of Lyric had some things to look at every once in a while. Shattered Crystal was awful, and the story was atrocious. Boom Rise of Lyric, not a great story, but serviceable. Shattered Crystal, atrocious story. I could not stand like all the jabs that they put in that. Like, it was Sonic Boom, it was Rise of Lyric's like characterization 10 times worse. Like, some of these characters were just abysmal in it. Awful game. I would put it below Secret Rings, actually, because at least Secret Rings had, you know, the good music and stuff like that. Ooh. Can we get out of the Fs? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Cosmo Fighter. This was a arcade machine. Never played it. It's like you get in a ride or something. So I'm gonna say not played. Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. They had to name it Sega Sonic the Hedgehog because Sonic, some like Sonic Man or something. There was like some legal trouble with the name. So it's played by a trackball. It's probably fun. I personally have not played it on the original hardware. I played it a little bit on my Steam Deck. I got it working there, and I was using the trackpad as the trackball, and it worked fun. And if I were to claim that that's playing it off original hardware, I'd put it in like a C, like a solid okay game. Otherwise, I'm gonna say not played. Okay, man, I really want to get to the really good ones. Okay, Shadow the Hedgehog. So, GameCube. This is like the first game that started the Dark Ages, right? This is the first game that came out, and everyone was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing here? What happened?" Now, let me give a little bit of background. I told you this is gonna be a long video. So, for some reason, early on in Sonic's career, fans were like, "Just give him a gun. He's a hedgehog. He needs a gun. Shoot him up, guy. He's a gun." So, the developers made Sonic Adventure, and in Sonic Adventure was Gamma, E102 Gamma. He had a gun, and his shoot 'em up gameplay was fine. It was fine in that game, and I guess people were still like, "It's not enough. We need another gun. We need another gun." So the Sonic Adventure 2 kept that shoot 'em up gameplay, and I guess that was successful enough. Heroes, they had not really a gun, but they had Omega, still kind of had rockets and whatnot. So then Shadow Hedgehog guy comes out. They gave him a gun. They just gave him guns. And realistically, that's not even what's wrong with this game. Look, this game sucks because it's boring. The gun gameplay honestly surprisingly works just fine. It tracks on enemies just fine. There were not too many moments where I was like, "Gosh darn it, that was the gun's fault." It worked most of the time. This game sucks because its storytelling is abysmal. Its level design is messy at best, awful at worst. It looks okay, I guess. Its pre-rendered cutscenes were pretty cool. They had pre-rendered cutscenes by a new team they brought in for them. Or, you know what? I can't remember if that was the same team that did Heroes cutscenes. I can't remember for sure. Either way, they did the cutscenes, and the cutscenes look great. Black Doom's an awful villain, in my opinion. The whole backstory with now we're supposed to, now we're supposed to sympathize with Gerald Robotnik, who was evil incarnate in the last two games, right? Or in the second game before last game, right? So they gave him like he was really just looking out for us story that I just didn't care for. They didn't even name one of the main characters. The sergeant of a frickin' gun, who now we know is Abraham Towers from the comics. The comics had to tell us that eventually. His motivations are dumb. He's dumb. Shadow is a hero. This game misses Shadow's character just entirely. He's not just an edgy McEdgelord. He never was supposed to be. His last two games before this, he was just a confused guy. That's all he really was. He was the end of Heroes. He was a hero, and that was him post like amnesia. End of Sonic Adventure 2, he was a hero. But yeah, I gotta say it's above F because it's playable, but it's got to be D. It's got a special place in my heart for nostalgia, and the music is banging. The music's bopping. Love the music. It's got a special place in my heart for nostalgia, but it doesn't save it from being below average. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog on the Game Gear. It's fine. It's Game Gear. This game loses points. I'm throwing in D. Loses points just because the hardware, unfortunately. You can't even like pick your rings back up in this game. It's fine. I don't know what the idea was here. I don't know why we tried to. We already had Sonic the Hedgehog. It was on. Well, I mean, okay, so you can play this on Master System, right? But it is still 8-bit. Freaking A. It's fine. 8-bit Sonic the Hedgehog. 16-bit was way better. All right, Sonic 3D Blast. Oh, so sorry. My bad. Not 3D Blast. This is Sonic Blast on the Game Gear. If you want poopy garbage, this is poopy garbage. The levels suck. The aesthetics of this game are the worst in any Sonic game, by far. Look it up. Look it up. Oh my gosh, they tried to do the Donkey Kong Country style, like pre-render or like rotoscope or whatever the fudge is the buzzword for that animation style, for 3D to 2D, right? Awful, gross, disgusting. The bosses suck. The levels suck. Game's over before you know it. You can play as Knuckles for some reason. Didn't make sense. Wasn't fun. Yeah, that's an F tier. Man, I promise I like Sonic. We're getting to good Sonic games soon, I promise. And we're actually getting to a fun one to me. It's a fun one. Look, I know on the Saturn it kind of controls a little poopy. I get it. But it's a fun freaking game. We're talking about Sonic R, Sonic Racing. Everybody's Super Sonic Racing, come on. It also has one of the best freaking soundtracks in all of Sonic. It really, in all of gaming. Dude, don't tell me you guys aren't blasting freaking Can You Feel the Sunshine from your car? Can you feel the sunshine? Oh, man. And then we got Everybody Super Sonic Racing. And then we got Living in the City. You know you have to survive. Oh, man. This soundtrack did not need to go that hard. And then on top of that, you're racing through. So look, let me be honest. The Saturn version, harder to control. I played the PC version for the most part, right? A lot easier to control. Still a little tough, but I got used to it. Once you treat Sonic like a car, you get used to it. I got to take points off for that, obviously. But the characters you play as are fun. Like, except for Amy, unfortunately, they shafted her hard by putting in her car that sucked. But you race and you get Chaos Emeralds while you race, and then you have to live in first. Then you unlock like metal versions of every character, and that's super fun. Eggman was playable. This is a fine game. It is average to me. It is average. It is, look, if I had a tier right in between D and C, I would put it there. This is like C minus for me, but I'm going to leave it at C. I would still, yes, of course, I would play these other two before that one, but you best bet that if I want just a little bit of sunshine in my life, then it's going to brighten up my day. I'm going to throw on some Sonic R, right? The PC version. All right, moving on to Sonic Rush. There we go. We got a good one now. We got a good one. Sonic Rush. Dimps. They were the ones making this game. First Sonic game on the DS, from what I remember. Introduced Blaze the Cat. Very fun character. I love Blaze. The pyrokinesis from an alternate universe. The story itself, very basic, unfortunately. The characters don't have much presence in it. We see a lot from Tails. We see a lot from Cream. Of course, they're your navigators. That's fun. It takes a hit. I would put it in B, but it takes a hit for having the worst bosses in the entire series. I am going to say that again. Okay, you know what? Let me take that slightly back. Of all the mainline games, of all the games that you can consider like important to the Sonic series, because I'm not talking Game Gear, I'm not talking like the games that were skippable. I'm talking like of all the main Sonic games, this game has the worst bosses. They are bullet sponges. Well, bullet, right? They're homing attack sponges or whatever. Their patterns blow. They just take way too long, and I cannot replay this game because of those bosses. They're that bad. I will die on this hill. You know what? Never mind. I just thought of one more game that has worse bosses. We'll get to it actually soon. But this is like second worst bosses. Dimps. I'm telling you, man. They took them a minute to figure it out. But either way, I would put B, but C below these two for sure because of those bosses. Man. Awful. And you know what? I don't know why everyone praises the music in this game. I gotta be the honest man. The music in this game kind of fucking blows. Like, look, some of the tracks are fine. Some of the tracks are really good. But man, there are some levels where I have to turn that crap off. I think it's the carnival one where it's just oh my gosh. How can anyone listen to that? Is beyond me. Is beyond me. But if you love it, that's cool, and I love you too. All right, Sonic Shuffle. Between here. Sonic Shuffle, it's a Mario Kart clone. It's a fail. It's a fail. You know what? It's playable. It sucks, but it's a fail. That's what I'm saying. It sucks, but it's a fail. It's there. It's there. Spinball. It's I don't care. I don't like. If you like it, that's cool. I don't like Sonic pinball mechanics. I don't like it. I'd put it in D. I'll put it in D. I don't like. It's long. You have 16 emeralds to collect for some reason. I guess I give it some credit for having the Sat AM crew there, I guess, but we're done. We're done. We're on to one of the best games ever made. Here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog. I promise you guys, we're getting up to the A's and the B's, and we're hitting it hard with a solid above average game. Solid above average game. Sonic the Hedgehog 1991, from the get-go, physics-based platformer when those weren't super popular, crushed it. Crushed it. It has some of the best music that hold up to this day. 1991, you best bet that you still hear Green Hill Zone every once in a while. You still see Green Hill Zone every once in a while. Marble Zone, amazing music. OK Zone, it slows it down a little bit. But then what's it called? Starlight Zone? I believe that's what it's called, Starlight. Oh man, oh man, solid. Scrap Brain Zone, always fun. It's a great game, and I loved the. I'm very nostalgic for the bonus levels at the end of the level to get the emeralds. Man, super fun. Little tough. Some can be a little frustrating, but still fun. Still great. Bosses are just okay. You know, they're just getting their footing. The final boss is just whatever. Labyrinth Zone, yes, it sucks. That's why we're not high above average. We're not an A in this, mainly because of Labyrinth Zone. It's notorious. I love the music though. All right, our first A tier. Come on, guys. Sonic 2. Oh man. Second game. They said, what worked about the first one? What if we made it better? Boom! Boom! Sonic 2. With the iconic box art, right? With the Eggman looking like almost creepy over the 2. And then we introduce my boy Tails Miles Prower. Miles Tails Prower. Dude is a two-tailed fox. And they were like, yo, what if we let this two-tailed fox fly with his tails? Like, what are we doing here, guys? What is going on? Dude, this game is amazing. Best music in the series, pretty much. Some of the best levels. Chemical Plant still shows up to this day. Chemical Plant music, guys, if you don't know that track, look it up. Oh my gosh. Freaking crazy jazz right out at you. Some great visuals. The Death Egg is here. Death Egg is about it. Freaking we got the Death Egg robot. Solid, very terrifying final boss. We did introduce is it Mecha Sonic is what he's called? Silver Sonic? I can't remember which one this is. But this was like the origins of a Metal Sonic, right? Who hasn't appeared yet. That'll be the next game. Not in our line, but in the timeline. But solid game. Sonic 2, we got it. And now we introduce the spin dash. Did you guys even know spin dash isn't originally in the first Sonic game? No, comes out here. Spin dash hits it up, and man, that was exactly what we needed to get up to the momentum. Because before in Sonic games, momentum was more not a, what's the word I'm looking for? Momentum was a reward. It was a reward for good platforming, for good gameplay. It was a reward for stage memorization, honestly. It was a reward. In this game, you can now earn it a little quicker, and now keeping that momentum is the reward. And the gameplay, the level design is 2 times as good here. In the first game, they started with that reward for being on the tip top of the stage, a little bit harder for the middle of the stage. If you're way at the bottom, it's the hardest, it's the most dangerous. You got rewarded for staying up high. This one took that up to 11d12. Crazy. All right, moving on. Sonic 2 Game Gear. Man, it was better than the first one, that's for sure. It was fine. Surprisingly, you couldn't play as Tails. Could not play as Tails. And canonically, if you don't beat this game right, Tails fucking dies. No excuse. Tails dies. Okay? He's seen in the clouds. You can fucking make sure Tails dies, or if you want to be as vague as possible about it, or you never see Tails again. It's crazy. D. Sorry, but D. Like right there, somewhere right there. Better than the first one. Still not. I didn't love it. You know, it's got that hang glider level. I get it. It's fine. I just, maybe it's because I have a bias against the 8-bit games, but there it is. All right. Ooh. This is our first S tier contender, fellas. And I'm not going to be an idiot. This is the same game. I'm not going to pretend this isn't the same game. This is the same game. This is the same game. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I had 2 in the wrong spot. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. That is the full game. Okay? For anyone who doesn't know the story, I'll go over it really, really quick. Sonic 3 was in development, and they were rushed to get a game out by, of all things, McDonald's. McDonald's promo. Or like, they wanted to do a McDonald's team up or something. Whatever it was, in order to meet that deadline, to help that out, they needed to release a game. So they took their overly ambitious Sonic 3 game and they cut it in half. So the first half of Sonic 3 is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That's the first half of Sonic 3. Then they finished the second half of Sonic 3. And then they released it as Sonic and Knuckles, okay? And for those who don't know, they invented a whole new technology so that you can play this game as intended. It was like one of the first instances of DLC to a game, I swear. So you would buy Sonic 3, the Sonic the Hedgehog 3, then you'd buy Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic and Knuckles cartridge looked freaking nutty. Let me see if I can look it up really quick for those who don't know. Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. So this sucker had what's called lock-on technology, right? So you see that? It came with another place to put a cartridge on top of the cartridge. So if you put this in the cartridge or in the Sega, you will play just the second half of Sonic 3. And it's a fully okay game by itself. It's fine. By itself, it's fine. But if you put Sonic 3 on top of Sonic and Knuckles, then you unlock Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it's the fully intended method to play the game. You play through Sonic 3 first, and then seamlessly, as if there's never a different game, you just all your extra lives carry over, all your points carry over. You just go to Sonic and Knuckles, and you continue the game as it intended. Save files work just fine. This is how you were supposed to experience this game. You could also put Sonic 2 on there, and you can play as Knuckles inside Sonic 2. And then Sonic 1, you get to play a game called Blue Spheres. Either way, crazy technology, fun stuff. This is one game, and it's a far above average game. I like it better than 2 personally, but I could see an argument for either or. If your favorite is 2 over 3, I get it. I'm with it. I get it. 3 is great. 3 takes everything that the other 2 made and made it way better. It introduced like set pieces, right? So in the first level, you're running through the forest and all of a sudden you're being bombed. You're being carpet bombed by Eggman, and you just have to keep on running. And you introduce like these shields in this game that you can use like elemental shields for. We introduced the blue spear special stages, which are, in my opinion, the best special stages. They're so fun. Collect all the blue spears, ignore the red spheres. So fun. That's how you unlock the emeralds. And then when you get to Sonic and Knuckles, you can unlock Supersonic that way. Then when you get to Sonic and Knuckles, you unlock Hypersonic, which I believe has been decanonized at this point. But either way, it's a phenomenal game. Moving on, Sega Saturn Sonic Blast, 3D Blast, which I don't know if original 3D Blast is here. I don't see it after a quick glance. Okay, so I'm going to treat this game, they're mostly the same anyway, so I'm good treating it as that one. Realistically, I think like mostly just the graphics are better and the special stages are different. 3D Blast, weird freaking game. Top-down 2D, 3D isometric view. It was okay. You're on Flicky Island. You have to rescue all the Flickies and then make it to the goal. You don't really get the speed in this game. Like 1 or 2 sections maybe, but speed in this game not really there. Sonic controls okay. Depth is a little hard to understand. Music's fine. I'm gonna say a D. I'm gonna say we're going D. Not an F, but a D. I'd put it somewhere around there. I would not put Beam Machine before those games. Maybe there. Maybe there. I'd probably rather play that one. I don't know. I don't take the whole thing too seriously, the order, but all right. Now we're moving on to these ones. Let me take a drink of water, because oh gosh. Imagine for a moment that Nintendo releases Mario 3, right? And they fucking kill it. They fucking kill it. One of the best games ever made, right? Mario 3 is amazing. And then they release a Game & Watch game called Mario 4. That's what the equivalent of this bullshit is. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 was initially supposed to be, I believe, just called Sonic Portable. It was made to just be a portable iPhone Sonic game. And man, is it short and garbage. Controls like ass, looks like ass, runs like ass. Everything about it is ass. In one of the versions of the game, I can't remember what consoles it's for, they even just used the Sonic Rush sprite for Sonic. And it's atrocious. This was also at the time where Sonic reputation has been going down, right? So they did this whole campaign where they were like, look at all these Sonic characters. This one's not in the next game. This one's not in the next. And they would like every day like kill off a character and be like, guess who's going to be in the next Sonic game? Not Big the Cat, not Amy Rose, not Miles Tails Prower, not Honey the Cat. No. They did all that and it was just Sonic. And gosh, dumb. No story in this game. All the other games, they actually have a little bit of story. Sonic 1, they're on Southside Island. Sonic is environmentally saving the environment against Dr. Eggman. He sucks. Sonic 2, going to, I think they go to West Side Island in this one. I can't remember exactly. Finds Tails. Tails is being bullied. Sonic's like, hey, you're my little buddy. You can hang out. It's the same thing. And then Sonic 3 has the best freaking story in a 2D platformer of that era. The best. And it's all told without words. It's all told through just looks and freaking sprite animation. Sonic 4 fucking fails. Fucking blows. Sonic 4 Episode 2. Because apparently this was supposed to be a trilogy or something is what they wanted. Okay, so they released the apology letter of Sonic 4. Oh man. They did improve shit. Not enough. Not enough. Bosses sucked. Levels sucked a lot. I give him D credit. For trying this like partner mechanic with Tails that another game did a lot better that's coming up soon. Otherwise, awful game. You know what? For anyone who clicked off early on because Unleashed got a C, I apologize for that now. I'm good with putting Unleashed in B. The Werehog stages suck, but everything else is above average. And I remember the daytime stages so much more. I replay that more. It deserves a B. I think so. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Here we go. Sonic Advance 2. I've got to be honest with you guys. Sonic Advance 2 is my least favorite. One of my least favorite Sonic games. Absolute fail. Level design fail. On all except for Music Park. The music one's fine. The multiple characters, fine. They work okay. The way that you progress through the game, fucking fail. The way that you unlock emeralds, fucking fail. In this game, there are 7 medallions hidden somewhere in this labyrinth of a level that you have to know every location to, because you have to get each medallion in one fucking try. Not one, not even like one freaking, no, I don't even want to justify this. In one attempt, in one life, you have to get all those fucking medallions. In the cheapest fucking Sonic game to freaking ever come out, I feel like. You got deaths, just random pits to nowhere frequently. Fucking A. The 3rd level or 4th level, I can't even remember. It's like Rail Canyon looking ass level. It's like a canyon looking level. They don't even explain in the game how to do a trick mechanic, right? To get a higher jump. They just have a jump where you're required to do this. You hit R and hold up. You can hit R and a jump and it will just do a random trick, but you won't go up. There's a random part where you need to know to hold up and hit R in order to reach a jump. They don't explain that. That's not explained. I don't have the manual. Maybe if I had the fucking manual, maybe it would say it there. I don't care. That's fucking cheap as shit, and it ruins my experience, okay? Then, fucking A, you have to, in order to unlock everything, you have to not only get all the fucking emeralds as Sonic, you have to do them as every fucking character. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Cream are all in this game. Then, when you do that, you unlock Amy Rose, which is pointless to play as. She's not even fun to play as because she's just Sonic but slower, and her hammer's pointless in this game. Not even fun to play as, so awful unlockable. Then, if you want to, you can get all the emeralds again. So that's however many times, fucking 5 times I'm getting 7 emeralds and playing all these levels to get all these medallions in one fucking life in the cheapest Sonic game ever fucking made. And then, on top of all of fucking this, the bosses in this game. Remember when I was talking about Sonic Rush's bosses? Fuck Sonic Rush's bosses. This game has the worst bosses in the series. This is including the Game Gear games. This is including fucking the mobile games. This has the worst bosses. This has the bosses with the stupidest mechanics, the stupidest tells. This has the bosses with the worst one-hit kill mechanics I've ever seen in a video game. These bosses are garbage. I feel like these bosses were made this bad because Cream has cheese, an ability that can insta-hit whatever boss you're running against. But remember, you have to beat this game with all the characters to unlock everything. So, you fucking have to use the other characters. And some characters is garbage to beat some of these bosses with. And not like 1 or 2 bosses sucks, 1 to maybe 3 bosses. I believe all except for the first boss is complete garbage in this game. The fact that anyone thinks that this is above an F blows my fucking mind. We did not play the same game. Dimps suck. Dimps absolutely suck for this, and I cannot believe that I had to just rant about that for a minute. But if you like this game, I love you. Remember, these are just my opinions. I know I got heated about that one. That one pissed me the fuck off. Because it's one that I actually skipped growing up. I played 1, and then I had 3. And I skipped 2, and I always heard 2 was fine. Went back and played it. God-awful game. God-awful. Unfortunate. Dimps sucks. I hate Dimps. Alright, so Sonic Advance 3. Look. I'm gonna be honest. Dimps figured it out, baby! Dimps is great! I love Dimps! If you guys don't remember from earlier on. Dimps is the developers of the Sonic Advance trilogy, Sonic Rush Duo, and I believe they also did Colors DS? And then they also did Unleashed for Wii. Okay. Look. I'm gonna be honest. They fixed a ton of that shit in 3. They did. And I don't know why 3 gets as much hate as it does. Yes, it does have some of that bullshit that 2 has, but it's made so much better by the fact that you don't have to complete the game with every character. Now they introduce this mechanic where you can have whatever partner character you want. Here, the one thing that sucks about that is you have to play as Sonic to unlock all the characters. But once you've unlocked them, you can play this game as Knuckles paired with Tails. You can play this game as Sonic paired with Amy. Amy paired with Cream. The possibilities are endless. So much fun. Could this have been better? Yes. Could this have been better? I've heard, I want to say it's, gosh, maybe it was Splash Dash. I can't remember who the creator was that was talking about it. But one of them released a video on Sonic 3 Advance 3. I'm leaning more towards it being Splash Dash now that I think about it. Where he does point out that we could have had like a thing where if you beat the game fully, you unlock Gemroll as a playable character who can be a partner that can unlock countless abilities. I've never even thought that before, and I thought that was genius, so I give him credit for that. Shout out to him. This game, the bosses are so much better. So much better. But even if they sucked, it wouldn't matter because you could just play as Cream, and that is fine. That is legal for you to just play as Cream and use cheese to cheese the fucking bosses because cheese is a fucking unbeatable monster. It's ridiculous. Now, there are some things that bring it back down to a B, right? The Chow collecting, kind of a little annoying. You at least didn't have to collect a whole bunch of chows in one fucking life. You could just look for them whenever the fuck you wanted to. Sonic Advance 2. But it was a little annoying sometimes. It also had hub worlds. 2D Sonic games, do they deserve, can they have hub worlds? My personal opinion is yeah. I actually liked the hub worlds in this game. I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay. Sometimes you're running through the hubs too quick. You accidentally end up in a level. Oh well. Honestly, it didn't happen to me often enough for me to get mad about it. You just exit the level. It's easy. All right, moving on to a game that is easily S potential. Easily S potential. Sonic Adventure 2. Oh my gosh. In fact, let's talk about the first one first, because that's also S potential. If anyone's a Ghost Arcade fan, you know Sonic Adventure is my favorite game of all time. Sonic Adventure 2 takes everything most of the things Adventure did and made it just a ton better. Let's talk about Adventure 1 first, and I'll be quick on this because I know I'm running out of time, and I got a lot to get through. So, Adventure, man, they start you off at a boss battle, and stuff's already happening, right? Like the police are involved, you're in a city, Sonic is talking, he's got a voice now, and he's just like spilling with that 90s attitude. And this came out in 98. This game came out the same year as fucking Zelda. Not in America, of course. As fucking Ocarina of Time. And it had such ambitious storytelling. Such ambitious CGI cutscenes. It had, cutscenes in general. And in-engine cutscenes didn't look great. We all know that. It didn't look great. But it was one of the first to do it. Think of now, 98. 1998 was a long time ago. I was 3, or I was 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was 3. I had to count. And this thing comes out, and man, it sets the bar for 3D Sonic games. The momentum in this game is flawless. Genuinely, Any jank that you guys have, unfortunately, that's coming from the countless ports this game has gotten that has given this game a bad reputation. Every single port that this game has gotten has deteriorated its quality little by little by little, introduced more bugs. In fact, the Sonic Adventure version that's best to play is technically the North American release. So it comes out in Japan in 98. I believe it took till 99 to come out in America. Or maybe the same year. I can't remember exactly. But whenever it came out in America, is a different version of the game that had less bugs in it that they fixed off. So when they ported it to the GameCube in 2003, I want to say, or 2004, one of the two, they used the original buggy version, and they porting it to the GameCube added bugs, and they also took out the lighting engine from the Dreamcast that looked amazing, that looked flawless, it looked awesome, and they added a few cool things. But either way, this game nailed it. It nailed Supersonic. It nailed the storytelling. Yes. Let me go on record saying you guys cry way too much about Big the Cat. Yes, his levels aren't the best. They're not great. And yes, they don't tell you how to play the levels really. But as a kid, I got through it just fine. As an adult, I've still played through it, and it's fine. Because catching Froggy is fucking easy. It is fucking easy. It is so easy to catch Froggy. Yes, you do have to learn eventually that if you hit the control stick, when it says something's biting, that's how you snag the frog. A lot of people don't know that. I get it. I didn't learn that by looking it up. I learned it by just trying things. Remember back in the day before you could look it up online, you just tried things and you were like, oh, that's consistently working. Okay, that. Remember when you played Pokemon and you'd throw a Pokeball and there was like school ground conversations about like, hey, if you hold B while it's shaking and then press A when it's done shaking, you have a better chance of catching the Pokemon. It was bullshit, but you try that shit. And in this one, I tried it for Big and it worked. Big was great. It was fine in this. I was about to say great. Big was fine in this game. Gamma was great in this game. Best story in most any game ever. Holy crap. Phenomenal story for a Sonic game. Amy was fun in this game. She had a survival horror style gameplay. Tails was okay. He just was Sonic, but in a race. But you never really lost because you could fly through the levels. But it was still fine because it was a different way to play and a different story, different perspective. Every character has a different perspective to the story. Knuckles was fun. I don't know why these emerald hunting stages get so much crap. They're fun. In this one, they're too easy actually because they have the light beams that go exactly where the emeralds are. So great game. Sonic Adventure 2. Honestly, an even better story, even tighter story. One of the best intros to any game ever made. Freaking Sonic's being taken off by the police. You don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, he breaks out, and he just like, he's like, yeah, fuck it, right? I like running better. And so he jumps out of the plane, and you're in City Escape. One of the best intro levels ever, with one of the best intro songs ever. Freaking Escape from the City. You got that like ska music going on, the heavy drums, the singing kicks in, rolling around at the speed of sound. Oh man, that was just badass. And then you meet Shadow, and you're like, what the fudge is going on? Shadow's the reason I was taken to prison. Yeah, they think that I'm him. It's not as stupid as everyone thinks. Everyone forgets context when that happens, okay? So a big plot point in this game is Shadow is mistaken for Sonic, right? Shadow does crimes and everyone's like, it must be Sonic. Context. All of his crimes are like at night, okay? And the main police have no idea what the fudge is going on. It's not just Gun who wants Shadow. It's the populace wants Shadow, right? Or Sonic, because freaking they see this happen at night. In a blur, he's a super fast hedgehog. And on top of all that, they've seen Sonic in the previous games, wherever the heck they all ended up, turn into different forms. So he's capable of different forms. Why wouldn't people assume, hey, maybe it's Sonic? I don't know. Let's detain him and see. Okay, maybe they keep him on Prison Island for a little too long, but we don't know how their government works. All I'm saying is, it's not as stupid as a story arc or story beat as people say it is. Is it a little silly? Sure, okay, but it's a cartoon hedgehog. It's allowed to be fucking silly. We were fishing for a frog in the last game. Fuck off. Either way, rant aside, I love this game. Look, we introduced the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure 2 has got that Chow Garden on point, especially with Battle. Battle even took it from a 10 out of 10 to a 12 out of 10, right? Freaking phenomenal game. One of the best stories ever told in a platforming game. I mean, everything with Project Shadow, everything with Gerald Robotnik. I mean, he's your bad guy from Beyond the Grave. How badass is that? The sacrifices that need to be made, working towards the common goal at the end. Cannon's Core is a great level. The treasure hunting stages did take a little dive in this one because of the radar, but it's still not that bad. I'm sorry to say this. You guys all just suck at it. No, I'm not going to say that. I hate that argument of you suck at it, therefore that's why you hate the game. But I will say, I, as a kid, had some trouble with the treasure hunting stages, but I was always able to figure it out. I always got it, and I always had fun because I could explore the levels. And Knuckles gets contention for running too fast. Knuckles and Rouge. Rouge, newcomer. Shadow, newcomer. Both amazing characters. They both... People say they go too fast. I'm saying they don't go fast enough. Let them go faster. Fudge. It helps exploration easier. It helps make exploration easier. On top of that, frickin' A. Every character had their own intro songs or theme songs, which was a thing in the first one. But man, they stepped it up to 11 in this one because frickin' A. All the songs were great. All the songs were great. I love that Rouge's themes are all like jazzy, right? She has her own style of music. Sonic is more ska. It's more like upbeat drums. Tails is more like rock, but like a little bit of electronica in there, like high pitched, like inspirational electronica. And then freaking Eggman is like dark and you know he's got electric music too, but he's more like heavy bass, dark. And like it's freaking Shadow also has a little bit of electronica in his music because he like to represent his more artificial life. And Knuckles raps. The rapper is an annoying piece of shit, but he's a bad person. But those raps slap. It's a phenomenal game. Hey, anyway, I've got to move on because I'm getting to an hour and I have too many games left. Sonic and the Black Knight. It was better than Sonic and the Secret Rings. It actually has a very good characterization of Sonic. Some of the levels are a lot of fun. I don't think it's enough to call it an average game, but I'll say tip top of the D. Oh, man, but I would consider it better than Shadow. The thing is, the motion controls are still there. You're just tighter with it. It's too short. It's way too short. And some of the music is great. Actually, a lot of the music is great. Am I about to put it in C for the music? If I did it to Sonic R, I do it to Sonic and the Black Knight. Average game. Very, very average. They learned a lot from Secret Rings. They learned a lot. And the storybook cutscenes are great. The intro cutscene to this one is great. I loved Sonic's character in this. I loved Merlina's character in this. I loved that this was the last game that the 4Kids cast did. And by this point... Jason Griffith nailed his Sonic voice, absolutely nailed it, and with the final monologue being a nihilistic monologue from Sonic, every world has its end. Like that's crazy. Sonic the Hedgehog is telling Marlena not the genie. Sorry, that's the other one. That I'm thinking of Merlina the wizard, telling her like, hey, yeah, life is gonna end. That doesn't mean you should stop enjoying life while you have it. Like, how crazy. He's talking about the world ending. It also has some badass scenes. Average game. Sonic Battle. Man, I loved this as a kid. So it's like one of the only fighting games for Sonic, right? It's on the Game Boy, which hinders the ability for this game to be great immediately because you only have a certain amount of buttons. But it plays fine. I have a hard nostalgia for it. Music is great for the Game Boy. It has a very interesting story all about the Gizoids, and which are very important to Project Shadow's lore, and even lore like in Chronicles, even though that's non-canon now. But either way, it's fun. It does it does get hindered from the story being a slog to get through, the story mode, because like sometimes you'll like get a little bit of story and then you'll play a fight and then you'll play the exact same fight and then you'll play the exact same fight but like a little harder, and that can get really annoying, sometimes even cheap. I know like fighting E102 Gamma was always a pain in the ass. And it also has the worst butchering of Amy's character, like at all, ever, in a game ever. Damn, I'm going for way too long on this. It's got the worst Amy characterization ever. I'm gonna put it high D. That hurts too. I want to give it the C, but I'm not sure. You know what? The multiplayer is fun. The battles are fun. The character roster's good. Music's good. I'm gonna give it a C. I can talk myself into the C on that one. Mainly because also my D's are a little high. I'm good putting any of these to F, I'm sure. Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. Better than the first two Sonic Booms. Not great though. D. We had an okay, interesting Fire and Ice mechanic to this one. Amy's playable throughout the game this time. That's cool. But like all the characters do pretty much the same thing, so you really only change characters when like their specific powers are required. Yeah. D. They figured it out a little bit. Sega CD, Sonic CD. Great game. Unfortunately, I was not too nostalgic for this game. I didn't necessarily grow up with it. I grew up with knowledge of it. And my buddy had it on the PC, I'm pretty sure. But I didn't play it until, or I didn't beat it, sorry. I didn't beat it until Sonic Gems Collection. So it's a good one. I'm going to say though, some of the bosses, they don't suck, but they're a little lame. The PC version has a phenomenal music. I don't love the music on the American Sega CD version. I believe even that the Japanese version has different music, but Spin Dash kind of looks lame. I don't love the past to future mechanics, and I'm also not a huge fan of the UFO special stages. I'm going solid B. Below Sonic 1's solid B. Very solid B. It introduces Metal Sonic, introduces my girl Amy. It has some good levels. It's a good game. B. Above average. Sonic the Fighters. This is a arcade game that has 3D graphics of the Sonic characters beating the shit out of each other, including Fang the Sniper. He's not called Knack the Weasel. I refuse to refer to him as that, even though I love how they canonized it. But Fang the Sniper's in it with Bark the Polar Bear and Bean the Dynamite, characters that need to come back. They came back a little bit in Mania, but yeah, it's a fun one. It's fun. It's not the best fighting gameplay I've ever played. In fact, my favorite version of this game is on the PS3. That had whatchamacallit, online play, of course, but it also had, you can play as Honey the Cat, which is a character based off of I can't remember her name from what game it was. It was the game that Sonic the Fighters was like heavily modeled after, and Honey the Cat was based off of one of the characters from that game. The word Viper is coming to my head. I'll put it on screen if I find it. Either way, it's fine. It's fun. It's average. It's an average fighting game. It's not great. It's silly. It's funny. It's average. Okay. Game Gear. Which one is this? I might have to zoom in for this. Is that Sonic and Tails? I think that's Sonic and Tails, which here was known as Sonic Chaos. I'm pretty sure that's the right one. Let me get back to 100%. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's Sonic Chaos. I didn't play too much of it, so you know what? That wouldn't be fair. I only played it for a little bit. I heard it's better. I'm gonna put it in not played just because I didn't play it enough to give it a honest shake. Sonic Colors for DS. Actually really good. I'm putting it right next to Rush. I think it's pretty much as good as Rush. I like that it has a different story than the Wii one. To me, the DS colors is the canon colors, because it includes more characters, including like the Wisp Queen, with a decently fun final boss. Sonic Colors Wii. This has been getting a lot of shit lately, and I don't know why. Excuse me. It's a good game. It's a really good game. Now, are there problems with it? Yes. The writing is abysmal. The writing in this game is abysmal. This is when the games were being written by Pontac or whatever, and Graf, I think their names are. I can't remember the writers' names off the top of my head, unless that was exactly it. They are not funny. They have never played a Sonic game before. It wasn't even them. I can't remember who it was. But awful writing. It's supposed to be funny, not. Way less serious than the previous games. The boost mechanic was there, and it worked pretty decent, and it looked okay for Wii, but then it was just way too much 2D. This game is mostly 2D with some sections of 3D, and that to me just got boring quickly. It's a solid game. Throwing C, throwing top C. Dang, but what I like, I do like it Unleashed better than Colors actually. Yeah, just very slightly above average. Sonic Dream Team, I think this is. Sonic Dream Team is a game that came out for Apple Arcade, 2 years ago now? It's good. It's actually really good. It's a 3D Sonic game, which a lot of people were afraid of for a long time. And it harkens back to the adventure style. My only problems are momentum doesn't carry over perfectly. There are multiple playable characters. Cream is finally a playable character again. That's been too long. It's a little too short, I guess. A little too short. Most of the levels are like just doing random objectives. Find this, find 5 of these, do this, do that. I'm doing a B. Is above average. I'm doing a C. Talk myself into the C. It's a good game. I don't have really a want to play it again. I don't have a desire to play it again. It also has some like the worst voice direction in a Sonic game. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, not very great. I really have to pick up my pace here. Drift 2, it's good. It's good. It's D. It's fine. It is less than average. Nah. Drift 2, Drift 1. Drift 1 was only released in Japan until Sonic Adventure DX, in which they released it, or they had it there for America. Otherwise, it was only released in Japan. They added more stuff in 2. It was fun. It was... yeah. It's just... The small screen made it very hard to keep on playing. Okay. Sonic Forces. This is one that gets a lot of hate, and for good reason. Oh, man. Bottom of D. I'll give it bottom of D. If I'm putting Sonic Boom Fire and Ice there, bottom of D. Create a character. It was kind of fun. They didn't have enough customization options. It is what it is. The level design was atrocious. It was just, this is the pinnacle of hold boost to win. And that is just atrocious. That is just unacceptable. It's okay music. Awful story. Bosses or Infinite is atrocious as a final boss, as a boss battle, and as a story boss. When you play episode Shadow, you learn that Infinite was a dude, a jackal who just got his ass beat by Shadow, so he became really mad. It's bad. On top of how bad it is, which it's playable and beatable in like a sitting. On top of how bad it is, they've ruined my favorite character, Tails. Ruined him hardcore, made him a little bitch in that game, to a bad degree, to an unbelievable degree. Not saying I want Tails to solo, Chaos Zero, no problem, but I don't want him to cower in fear and cry and wait for Sonic. I don't want him to do that. He's gone through too much at this point, canonically. At least, if he were to at least like run, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Like, he's at least doing something. He's fixing Omega. He just cowers in fear against Chaos Zero. Motherfucker helped take on Chaos 3. You could even argue, or 4, Chaos 4, sorry. You could even argue he helped take on Chaos 7. Not really, it was mostly Sonic. But, no, that was stupid. Knuckles' character sucks in this. I freaking Everyone's too serious. Silver's back for some reason. They didn't justify that well. It's a bad game. It's a bad game. It deserves the D. It might even deserve the F. Did I just talk myself into the F? No, because it's playable. Some of the sections are fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a fail. It's fine. Frontiers. I really liked Frontiers. I really liked it. A lot of people didn't like a lot of aspects of it. I get it. I really liked it. The open world was fun, especially for the small team we got. The Titan battles were a blast. I loved the music. Kellen Quinn is one of my favorite singers. All about it. The music is great, as I was just saying. The combat's fine. It's very fine. The levels get more flack than I think they deserve, but they're not great. Above average. Okay. Generations. This is where I might lose some people. Only some, though. Generations... right here. Right in between these two. If I can. I don't think it's the best of the best of the best. In fact, I had to learn to love it, to be honest. Because I thought it was too short. At first. I thought it was too short. I think that if you're going to have a game where having modern Sonic and classic Sonic in this, like, be the same thing, which, let me just also say, classic Sonic and Sonic Forces was absolutely stupid of it. No reason. Zero reason to include them. Anyway, classic Sonic and modern Sonic, if you're going to have them together in the game as two separate playable characters, design their levels different. As in, modern Sonic should not have any 2D parts, in my opinion. That doesn't make sense. Why am I playing terrible 2D? Not terrible, sorry. Only okay 2D sections as modern Sonic and completely 2D as classic Sonic. That makes no sense to me. At this point, don't differentiate the character. Don't differentiate the character and I'm fine. Like Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed, you ran fast and sometimes you went in 3D and sometimes you went 2D and it was fine. Sonic Generations, you differentiated the characters and then made one play exactly the same as the other for some reason. It stopped. Made no sense. The boost sucks in 2D. Well, in that game, Sonic Rush, they made it work. They made it work. Just a B. Heroes, that gets an A. It's a great game. One of the best. Might be a S tier contender. Look, it does get flack for having some jank. It has some jank. I can't deny that. But I also can't deny that you can get used to that jank very quick and it's not as bad as people make it sound. I could also say that, yes, this game is hindered from the fact that it doesn't teach you how to play itself very well. I honestly suggest, if anyone doesn't trust me, please look up Chow Mix's video on, I think it's called like You're Playing Sonic Heroes Wrong, or the actual way to play Sonic Heroes. It's a good tutorial on the mechanics of Sonic Heroes that really work well. They made it so that on my playthrough as an adult, playing back through these games, on my Steam Deck specifically, I had a fucking blast with this game because I knew how to work the teams a lot better. It used to be that I would just like mainly use Sonic and then sometimes I'd change to Knuckles and sometimes Tails when like the situation called for it. Watching that video, I learned that like there are more situations for each character than I even ever thought. Fighting people was fun now. Also, one of the best Crush 40 songs ever as the final boss song. At least the most badass. Live and Learn may be the best. This is the most badass. What I'm Made Of, it pumps me up. It's amazing. Sonic Heroes, yes, you do, in order to get the final boss, you do have to beat it 4 times. And you have to get all the Chaos Emeralds. Getting the Chaos Emeralds, not too bad. Not too hard. Level's not the greatest, but you play through as Team Rose, you're fine. Playing as 4 different teams, yes. Little repetitive. I do agree with that. But you get better as you play, so you get a little quicker. It feels cool. Chaotix team kind of breaks up the monotony by adding some more stuff. It's a great game. I love it. I can get it if you don't, though. If in your tier list that's an F, I get it. I'm with it. Me, that's a solid A. All right. Is this Mean Bean Machine on the Game Gear, or is this Labyrinth? Labyrinth. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. I almost want to give it D credit for having the silliest story, but it's an F. Talk about a Sonic game where you don't go fast. Basically, the story of this game, and I love it, is Dr. Robotnik is pissed off at Sonic, right? So he sneaks into, canonically, this is part of the story, he sneaks into Sonic's house and he steals Sonic's super speed shoes and replaces them with super slow shoes. So the entire game you're super slow and you're on a time limit. And you're super slow on a time limit. And it sucks. Yes, you can get more rings to increase your time, but you're still on a time limit. And it sucks. I just beat this game for the first time recently. I did not like it. Lost World, Wii U. It had a lot going for it, and I was really hoping that it would do good, because it was one of the first games where they were dipping their toes back into the adventure style. But they were really, let's be honest, it was on Wii U. Sega was really trying to get that Mario Galaxy vibe. They're really aiming for Mario Galaxy audience. So they made a Galaxy-style game that worked okay. It worked fine. It had parkour mechanics that worked okay. That had some momentum. It brought back the spin dash. The Zeddies, stop trying to make them a thing. They're all one note. They're fine. They're actually okay in the comics. In the IDW comics, they're fine. Especially Zavok. Zavok I would call really good. But yeah, this game had some shitty levels. Unfortunately, lame bosses. I'm gonna say it's an average game. It's an average. Lower end of average. This is where I really lose people. Alright. Sonic Mania. Let me be as honest as possible here. I don't get why everyone loves it to the degree that they do. I get why everyone likes it. It's just like these games, right? I think it does it worse. In my opinion, I don't love all the level designs. I don't. They're just okay to me. Studiopolis is good. I like the Studiopolis level. A lot of the music is great. But this game, to me, suffers from a lot of what Sonic Rush suffers from. Like, just bullshit, cheap level design, in my opinion. That was my experience playing through this game twice. If there was a chance that this game was going to end up in D. There was a chance of that, because I just don't see it. I don't get it. It's fine. It's a fine, okay game. But what puts it above? You know what? Yeah, I can't even say that. I would have liked this game less. That's what I will say. I would have liked this game less if it wasn't for Mania mode. I actually loved Mania mode. The Sonic Mania Plus that came out introduced Ray and reintroduced Ray and Mighty, and they had this Mania mode where you're fighting as a team. Like, it's you're all five of the characters. You're all five of the characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Mighty, and Ray. And you're one of the characters and a partner character. And the partner character is random for the most part, because if you get hit, or if you lose a life, you just lose a character. And if you have other characters, they take their place. I love that mechanic. That was so fun to me. That was such a blast. I had such a blast playing as all the characters and then getting those characters back from the Dr. Robotnik. I think that made this game so fun to me. I'm going to leave it at average, because it to me, it has too many problems that keep it back. I don't like the special stages in this game. I did not enjoy them. This game was an average. It was fine. I don't get whatever everyone thinks it's the greatest great of all the greatest great. It's not me. If it's you though, awesome. I'm so about that. I'm all about you guys loving this game, because all in all, it looks great and it sounds great. I get it. It's gorgeous, and I just don't understand. I don't see what everyone else sees, but I'm glad you guys do see it, because you guys help keep this franchise from dying. Sonic 06. Man, this is one I feel very awful putting it in an F, because it had such potential and it has good things going for it. There are good things in Sonic 06. and I would call it better than any of the games listed here. I'd call it better than that. I'd rather play it over any of those games. Here's the deal with Sonic 06. Oh, yeah, here's the deal with Sonic 06. It went through development hell, like I said. We got split up over, half the team went to Secret Rings, half the team went to 06. And it was a very ambitious story. The graphics actually looked really good. I liked the Havoc engine. Silver's fun. Amy does an okay job in this game character-wise. So does most characters. In fact, Team Dark has the best character moments in this game. Shadows, he has this monologue about, yeah, if the whole world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight as I always have. Like, he has a good coming to terms with the possibility that the world will hate him. Like, it's great characterization. And he's not just a dick. He's not just an edgy McHedgy. He's just a hero that keeps to himself. And he helps Sonic out many times. And he kicks the crap out of Silver. It's hilarious. He does great in this game. And he works off Rouge very well. Rouge has a great moment where she tells him, like, even if the whole world is turned against you, know that I'll always stay by your side. Like, she trusts him. It's great writing. Phenomenal there. Yes, the rest of it has Sonic kissing a human girl. That was unfortunate. I do actually kind of like Elise, though. I don't think she's the worst thing ever. I think that you're saving her a little too often. I don't even hate Eggman in this. I actually think even Mike Pollock has a pretty nice, like, refined Eggman in this that I really like. Yeah, I would play this game again, and Sonic P6 is phenomenal. P06, phenomenal. But yeah, gets the unfortunate F for all the problems that you've seen in 2010's YouTube. All right, Sonic Pocket Adventure for the Neo Geo Pocket. I wish I played this more. I own this game physically. I have a physical cartridge. I don't have a Neo Geo Pocket. I can play this at any moment. I just haven't gotten to it yet, so I'm putting it in the not played. It's supposed to be really good. A lot of people love it. I trust that it's good. I just have to sit down and play it. Riders, my gosh, this is a good racing game. I love Riders a lot. I do. I think that it controls great. I love the mechanics. I love that it's easy to play, hard to master. It's very rewarding to master. The characters are all fun. The story's okay in it, nothing too special. The translation is hilarious. It is not just any race, but a race to see who is fastest, is one of the best lines ever spoken by anyone ever. I love it. I don't love the characterization of Amy in this one. I don't love the characterization of whatchamacallit, of Knuckles in this one too much. But Jet's good. I like Wave. Storm is good. You know, it's a great game. I love the aesthetics, the sleek aesthetics. The opening, freaking animation is out of this world. Is such style and art. Love it. All right, Sonic Rivals 2 F. Sonic Rivals 1 F. Sorry, yeah, that was 2. Sonic Rivals sucks. Garbage game. The rubber banding is atrocious. The powers are atrocious. I hated this game. Beating it with all characters sucks. Absolutely hated it. The story sucks. The story is Dr. Eggman turns the world into cards. He's turning everyone into cards. Why? Why is he doing that? He's going to turn the world into a card. What happens after? What are you going to do after that? Whatever. And then it turns out, I think... No, the next game, it's Eggman Nega. Next game did better things than Rivals 1. Did better things. It sure did. It sure did better things. But my God, you play as 8 different characters now. Not 4 teams of 2, as it should have been. You play as 8 different characters. But when you do the stories of those characters, you play as their partner characters sometimes. Why are we differentiating? Why is that going towards progression? And it also doesn't matter. Progression doesn't matter. You get nothing for beating it with all characters. Awful. Awful, awful, awful. You feel off. I'm so sorry for Sonic fans that only had a PSP. I'm so sorry. Bad games. Sonic Rush Adventure. It was good. It was good. I actually liked it better than Sonic Rush. It had some better stages to me. I like Marine. I love Blaze's characterization in this. It's like really came on into her own on this one. The main boss is cool. I thought the sailing around was okay. It was okay. Some of the music's good. It's way better than the first one. Yeah, it's C, but better than Rush. Okay. Sonic's Schoolhouse. I wish I could say I played it. I have it on my Steam Deck, but I have not played it. This was like one of Sonic's first vocal lines, if you don't include "I'm out of here" from CD, wherever that CD. Yeah, Sonic's played by a girl in this. It's Sonic Schoolhouse. What can you say?
All right, so now we have Sonic Game World on the Sega Pico. I don't have a Sega Pico, so obviously it's in never played. So got to move on.
Game Gear, freaking spinball. Worse than good. Worse than the spinball that's supposed to be good. Triple Trouble. Okay, this one I really like. I didn't play Chaos much, but Triple Trouble, which is known as Sonic and Tails 2 in Japan, I believe, really good. I would say high C. I liked it a lot. I'm sorry guys, now I have to rush because I'm getting to 1:30, and I don't think we've ever had a video this long. We probably have. All right, if anyone's still listening at this point, type lemon in the comments, and I will personally thank you myself. I will personally tell you how much I appreciate you and love you, and then you can call me an idiot for my bad takes. Sonic Pinball Party. It's fine. It's fine. It's pinball. It's not fail. I don't know. It's not better than the game. It's pinball. I don't know. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. So this is Sonic Riders 2. Unfortunately, boy howdy, in my opinion, did they step back a little bit. Not significantly. I'm going to say it's C. But I don't like how they changed up the gameplay. I don't like the zero gravity thing. I don't like how all the extreme gears now look like toys. I liked it better when they looked sleeker. The story's fun. Again, it's pretty much the same as before, realistically, except now the Babylon Rogues are more like thieves, so it's a lot of fun there. It's fine, but not as good as the first one. Sonic X Shadow Generations. Look, if I'm thinking Sonic Generations is a B, Sonic X Shadow Generations is an A for sure. A for sure. The whole Shadow part of the game, phenomenal. To me, this is how Sonic needs to control from now on. Like I think it controlled great. If the boost mechanics are here to stay, I want them to stay this way. Great game. And I love getting more backstory in Shadow. Tails Adventure. Alright, which one is this? Is this Tails Music Maker? I think so. Yeah, Tails in the Music Maker. Haven't played. It's 100. Haven't played. It's Tails Sky Patrol. Bad games. You're still worse. Sonic Racing. Team Sonic Racing. It's fine. It's a C. It's a fine racer. I do like the team mechanics, but honestly, the one Sonic Racing game before this transformed, I think that was a better game. Sega All Stars, a little bit better controlling. The story mode of this game sucks. The team mechanics fun. That's about all we got. Sonic Chronicles, ooh-wee. Only barely better than this game. BioWare dropped the ball on that one, and I can probably it's blamable on Sega. Most likely it could be blamed on Sega, but either way, I'm gonna get to this now. I have not played the arcade game Popcorn Shop. I have not played Sonic Eraser that came out in Japan as a downloadable game, and I'll be honest, I'm not even positive what one that is. Oh, this is the Sonic police car one. I can't even remember what it's called. Sonic's in a police car for some reason. Have not played. Okay, cool. Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Look,
We played this game on the channel. I freaking love this game. It's hilarious. It has some of Amy's best characterization. Tails' characterization is perfect. The Shadow was almost spot on. He's a little edgy, but he's more like, he's nicer now. Like he's doing this for Amy now. Like he was awesome with that. Vector and SBO were great in this. Knuckles was good. Knuckles was good. He was written very much like he was written in the IDW comics, which is great. It was a good mystery. It was fun. It was very funny. The humor was great. I'm giving it a B. That's awesome. All right. Here is my Sonic list, but I'm getting a drink of water. But we have to put one in S tier. Which game from the A tier goes on to S tier? All right. There's a lot of good ones here. Man, let me tell you, these are some of the best games ever made, in my opinion. And I kept the A tier exclusive because of that. I think that these are genuinely 10 out of 10 games. Okay, no one is perfect, blah blah blah. I don't rate like that. I don't do that. To me, if it's a phenomenal game with only small amounts of things wrong with it, little nitpicks here and there, some mistakes, some sidesteps, that's still a 10 out of 10 for me. And that's what I'm looking at right here. S tier contenders are definitely Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and 3 and Knuckles. Those are my contenders. And let me tell you, immediately, as you guys can probably tell, I'm a huge adventure fan. So I got to take that one out of there immediately. Between these two, which would I say is the S? They both have everything going for them. These are both phenomenal games. But if I were to have to give it to one, and I will tell you, just because one of these is my favorite game of all time, my favorite video game ever, the game that I attribute a lot of my personality and honestly, like, my mental state too. Even though that's here, I'm not going to let it sway my decision. But it's still Sonic Adventure. Come on. It's still Sonic Adventure. Open your heart. Open your heart to a story that transcends time, to one of the most badass final bosses. 2 had all that shit too. 2 did. 1 wins for me because 1 has a little bit better control with Sonic, being his momentum, his spin dash specifically, and it suffered less from single button syndrome. Sonic Adventure 2, unfortunately, single button syndrome is a little bit of an issue in it. Even though Adventure 2, don't get me wrong, it's got the bounce bracelet, right? It's got the Chow Garden, which was almost enough for me to give it the S. But this is my list. If I had one other person here to even slightly argue it with me, 2 would take the S. But this is my list. This game is amazing. And you are amazing too. If you stayed through this whole video, thank you so much for listening to me ramble, rant, and rave about a series about a stupid blue rat. I love you guys so much. Anton will be out for a few weeks, so you're stuck with just me for a little bit. I gotta be honest. I'm gonna see if maybe I can get maybe a special guest or someone. Stay tuned rest of the weeks. Next 3 weeks, I think. But either way, Anton is coming back. He'll be back here, and I had to do this tier list while he wasn't here, or else he would have hated it. All right, take care, everybody. Love you all. Wait. Sorry. Future Casey in here. Hi, what's going on, everybody? really quick. There was one game that this list didn't have that I really wanted to mention, because I know this game missed a few of the other ones, like 3DS What was that? Generations and Lost World, which are completely separate games. So they deserve to be on this list. Just know they're both probably Fs. The one I really wanted to talk about actually was, and I'm surprised it's not on here, Superstars. Superstars. Yeah, this just came out recently. I'm surprised this had Shadow Generations, not Superstars. If this had Superstars, just know I fully endorse Superstars being the highest B. High B. Very high B. Again, this is another one. There are a lot of people nowadays, like, I feel like hate on it for almost no reason. Like, I feel like it gets hated because it's not a S tier, right? Like, there are some faults with it. I'm not saying like, oh, everybody's wrong, but my opinion, or else this would be a very funny list. But no, I loved it. I thought that the multiplayer, even though it kind of did feel like it was thrown in last second, I found it fun. I played it with my nieces and they loved it, and I loved it too. The graphics I think look good. A lot of the music is really good. The bosses, I think people complain about too much. Me being the person who complained nonstop about Sonic Advance 2's bosses and Rush's bosses, I don't think that they were that bad here. I do think that, yeah, they dragged on maybe a little too long, but some of them are creative. I liked a few of them. Even the final bosses, even though that a lot of people say they're too difficult, I liked the difficulty, except for I do agree that some of the one-hit kill moves were just dumb, were ridiculous. I also don't think the story was just whatever. I don't love the final boss. That one took me a little bit, but it was fine. I do think that story-wise, it was very poorly integrated and like kind of comes out of nowhere and not very well done there. That's why I'm giving it the high B, not an A. If it didn't have that kind of problem, and also for a multiplayer game, they really should have like dug in deep to the multiplayer aspect. Having characters have their own specific levels, so where your friends that are playing with you can't play those levels with you. Very silly, very, very bad decision. Fully agree with that. Having Trip's whole story be single player only. I mean, sure, it might not have made sense for Sonic and Tails and Knuckles to be running around with Trip, but why not just let them? Like, we're allowed to suspend some disbelief here. Should have just let them. That made no sense. So that's why I'm not giving it the A. But I think it was great. I loved Superstars. I played it many times now at this point. Me and my nieces love it. I love the 8-bit level. The first level is very fun. I love the story with it. The special stages could have been better, but still kind of fun. I'm not going to make this video go even longer if I can. Just letting everyone know, if Superstars was on this list, it would have gotten a high B. Cool. Love you again. Bye.